Vicky here with you, and I wanted to share with you something different. I always like to make something for my colleagues, and something that's, you know, handmade and coming from me. And I went with my friend Cinzia to Point Claire Village, and I found this cute ornament. Now, I thought this is something I could try to emulate, and but this is from the 10,000 Village. So I purchased it because I thought it was a great thing to do, and I'm, you know, kind of doing something similar. Obviously, it doesn't come out quite the same, but I've made two so far, and here they are. So here are my little snowmen, and I've put something so that they can be hung as well. And I think they turned out quite cute, and I'm looking forward to knowing what you think about it. I'm hoping that they like them enough that they don't throw them in the garbage, but who knows. Yeah. But at least I feel like I've made something, and I always tried, like one year I did little snowmen with, those were socks with rice in them. Another year I did some little calendar memo things. One year I did wreath with some Werther's candy, but of course at the time I didn't have many. I had only two to make. This time I have a lot, and because my team is the biggest team, but I feel kind of bad leaving some people out, so I'm gonna be making more. So that means I'm making 8 of them. So I've got 2 made. So let's get going, and I'll show you what you need. So I was thinking of what I could use, and I have some of those little beads. They're little wood beads. You can see them, tiny. And I found these beads, and I thought those would make awesome carrot nose. So instead of doing what they did here, which was wrap another piece of paper, I did that. Okay, then what you need is some book paper. Well, I figured book paper. And I've got this book. It's Introduction to Sociology. I still have tons of pages from it. And obviously not something I use often. And I used the cover of that book for a journal way back when. And I still have all the actual pages. So I thought, what a great way to try to use those up in this. So you need that. I also got my husband to purchase this, which is 18 gauge copper wire. So fil de cuivre calibre 18. And I thought this would be great. I'm using my Suquan tape. I'm also using this, which is my Cosmic Shimmer glue. And you can get this at Amazon. And I believe I put it in my favorites because I really love it. I love the fact that it's a tiny, a very pointy nozzle, and it's really helpful. So now I've made, the last one I made was this one, and so I took one of the arms when I made it, and I made another one so that I would have kind of an idea of how to do it. Now this paper pieces, those paper pieces, they're 3 inches, and I don't know how long. I mean, whatever book page you have. This one is 10 inches, but it can be whatever. It could be newspaper as well. My newspaper was too colored, I felt, and so I didn't use that, but it would have been a great idea if I had a regular newspaper. That's what I would have done. So then you just fold it, and as tiny as you can. It happens that the tiny as I can is pretty much always the same size, and I pretty much always have one end that's not straight versus the other. Why? I don't know. That's just the way I roll. So here, when I reach this, then I put my glue, like so. And then you just flip it over, and then flip it over again, then you've got a little roll of paper. Of course, those of you that do paper beads, it's probably pretty much the same type of idea, I would think, but I've never made them, so I don't know. And then you just roll. But you're not rolling like to have a center with something in it. You're just rolling to make a snowman. And so I roll, 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 and then I will put a bit of Suquan tape in it. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Maybe I can bring you down just a tad. So you continue rolling like this. And then when you come to the end, put another piece of Suquan tape. Now what I found is that for the base I need about 3 rolls, and for the head I need about 2. So, and then I start again with another roll, and you can see it was one of my textbooks because there's my name. Kind of fun to be able to recycle stuff that you've had and that was, you know, not being used and would have been thrown in the recycling bin. At least this way it's getting a second life. As a snowman, who knew sociology could end up being a snowman? So here we go, and there, and I'll put a bit more here. Sorry if you're hearing a lot of noise. My kids are going by, and so is my husband. I don't know if you heard. Just said that he loves me. Yeah. He loves making noise. But so I'm cutting little bits of Suquan tape and putting them over, just so that as I'm rolling I can actually use them up, and because I found that with one end it's almost impossible to lift it up like this, and well, to actually cut it. And when and if I leave it on the table, then it unrolls, and that's not fun. So that's why I'm doing it this way. That's what I discovered. So here we go, another little piece of Suquan tape. I could actually put it right there, and I tried to put the next one on top just so that to make extra sure that it doesn't move. So you can see that it's a bit, actually it's pretty much the head size, see? So you add one more and that becomes the bottom, and if you do just 2, well, that's your top. So it's really easy, but it's time consuming because you're rolling all that little paper. But like I said, I like making homemade gifts. They might not be well received, but you know, when you're making for many colleagues, it gets to be expensive. So by doing this, at least I'm not spending a ton of money. And if they don't appreciate, well, too bad, so sad. I mean, I could do nothing at all, and that would be an option. Okay, so like I said, I put the Suquan tape on top here and on the bottom here. This way, when I lift this up and I put this on here, it gives it sticks it even more. Hoping I'm on camera. It's kind of hard to do this. Okay, so when I get to this point here, I just put one tape down like this, and I leave the tail like this, and I will show you why. So then do the same thing for the head. again with this. And this. Okay. Oops. And then same thing, you roll it. I'm gonna have to take a break after doing this because after rolling 3 of them, my hands are a bit tired, and so are my tendon. I don't know how you say that in English. I forget. So here we go. And put that here. Here. Okay. I'm going to make more little tapes. I can tell you that, yeah, I can feel my hands being tired. It's a bit fiddly when you get close to the end. You want it to roll properly. I don't want it too thick. And that's where it gets a bit fiddly. I don't want it too wide, the little roll. And then continue rolling. Okay, so here we go. And then I do the same thing. Put that on top. And then I do this. And I want to roll it tight because I don't want the head to be too big compared to the body. Somehow, like, I messed up this head. It's too big. It's almost the body size. Yeah, it's too big. So I'm gonna have to do this again. Okay, so we'll have another partially completed body. Okay, so do that. So like this. So like this. Okay, and then roll this. And that. This. I wonder if one would be enough on this one. Usually it's bigger than that. My head. Tiny bit bigger. Maybe I can, yeah. So I'm gonna try again and see what happens. I'm gonna use this one. Try this one. It might not be as thick because it's smaller size. I'm hoping it's going to work better. Okay, and then turn this around. Alright, so like this. Okay, let's hope that this one turns out better. So put this here. Put this here. I need some more tape because when I'm finished, I'm gonna not be pleased that I don't have. So let's find some more. Here we go. So a few pieces ready. And then, so I just take this off. Okay, and yeah, that head is better. So I'm just going to put a Suquan tape here and leave a tail. So now I've got two tails. So what I do to fix both of those pieces together is I use some thread like this. I do this, I put it like that, then I run one, whoops, this way, run one that way, and then I put the tails through it and pull on it to tighten it up. So to make sure it's tight, and then I'm gonna run one on the other way. What I think is going to be the back, because That's how I'm doing it. So here we go. And one more. Okay, so I've got my thing, and I can cut it after. So then what I'm going to do here is put a Soukwan tape here and just continue this down all the way to the end. Put a little bit here. Put the tail like this. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to put the Soukwan tape here and continue rolling the head this way. Another one here to finish it off. So now my little snowman is pretty much done, and it's stuck together and it's not coming apart. So then I can remove those extra tail and be left with this. Okay, from that point on, I need to do the at. So you need another one of those sheets, and here we go, making it this way and like this, and like that. Alright, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this like I do for all the other ones. Okay, so now it's glued. So now what I need to do is make a hat. So I want the pieces to be flat for this part, and not to be, I don't want the hat to be round, and I want the hat to fit on his head, obviously. So I think this is a good size. So here we go, and this is going to be the hat. And so I think I'm going to cut it here, just because it's going to be easier on this side than if I round it. It's probably not going to hold. Okay, so now see, that's what happens. So if you don't have your Soukwan tape ready, that's what's going to happen. Now this piece, you don't want it too tight, because you're going to be putting his little arms in it. So you have to have some room to put the arms into, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the part of that here. Now for the hat itself, you take another one of those pieces, okay, so that, so this could be something that you roll while watching TV or whatever. If you have a little table or little platform that you can put on your knees, and then once they're rolled, it's pretty easy. So long, like once you've got this piece, you're pretty much all set. So now for this piece, I don't want it to be really round. I want it more like of a square shape. So I don't round it. I make it more like a square shape, like I said. Okay, so I'm gonna put a Soukwan tape here, I want it to hold there. And then I have this here, this little fiber. So what I did is I cut a piece of it, And then made a knot, because this thing doesn't weigh much, right? So you don't have to be too worried about the weight of your ornament. Okay, it needs to go both in there. Come on. Okay, so now we've got both. So this, okay, and then you can put it in here and kind of finish your rolling and decide where you want to place it, because once this is finished rolling, it's going to be very difficult to put it in. The first one I did, I tried to put it in afterwards, and lesson learned, do not do that. Okay, so here is the little top hat. So now this is gonna go here, and then you've got his little head here, like that. Okay, so for those pieces, in order for them to really look like a top hat, what I did is I used here my black soot, distress ink, and I put it on both sides of it. One of them I actually did this because I want it dark. Oops! And it's a bit messy for your fingers and such, but that's okay, we're used to that. So like that, and then here do the same thing. I don't know on the other one what they did, but this is my version of it. Okay, I've got something to wipe my hands. Okay, and then I need to attach this together. So I want this piece here to be attached. I'm going to put this here. To attach the base to this. And I cut a bit too short. I should have left it bigger, and I didn't, because I thought it was going to be too long. And I'm sorry if I'm going off camera. It's a bit tricky. Just want to make sure that it holds. Like I said, it's not very heavy, this thing, so the chances are that it's not gonna come undone. And then you need to put this together. So put his top hat on. So same thing, you stick it on there. Okay. Now you're going to be putting the arms, and that's also going to hold the snowman together. Okay, so now I have my length of wire. I'm going to make myself 2 new ones. So 1 and 2. Okay, and then you kind of work with them, because I want them rounded, but I also need to have them come behind my snowman, and then I can bring them down into him. And same thing with the hat. So kind of do a shape like this, and you kind of hope for the best. So you put it in gently into your little snowman. Okay, so I've got him. So then this piece here, whoops, this piece here, I can bring it down, and this way it's stuck. It's really making sure my little arm is not going anywhere. And then I can do the same thing with the little hat. So I put it in here, and then I twist it so that it's holding on to the hat like this. And I try to make sure that it doesn't show on top of the hat. Like, I want it to hold, but I don't want it to show, kind of like from the front. Okay, so now we've got one arm done. Let's make the other one. So kind of like that. And bend one, and then bend the other. So now you find a spot to put this in, and that's the trickiest part of it all, I believe, anyway. And then I'm going to put this here. So got a little arm here. Whoops, too much. I had him. Okay, so this here and this over here. I didn't want to have too much of the wire, that's the thing. Just wanted a bit. And then you can play with it after as well. Like that. And twist it so that it goes like this. Okay, so you've got your little snowman, and then it's just a question of adding the eyes and the little buttons. And like I said, I used little wooden beads that I had in my stash for like forever, and I glued them on using glossy accent. I was trying to use all types of glue and nothing was really working, and then I figured maybe glossy accents would work, and it works fine. So that's my glue of choice for this. So I'll put the little eye, put the little carrot nose, and obviously, because they're handmade, none of them will be exactly the same, which I think is kind of neat. Oops. And finally this one. And here we go. So, oops. So those are my little snowmen. So I hope that it inspires you to try to make your own. It is a bit fiddly, but I think they turned out really cute, and I think it'd be a cute little ornament to make. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I'm looking forward to knowing what you think. If this is something that was gifted to you, would you throw it away, or is it something that you would like? I was also thinking that it could be attached to a gift bag. So yeah, so that is it. Bye everyone.